So 2025 is coming to a close, and I think we can all agree that Keir Starmer has had a disastrous year. His first 6 months as Prime Minister in 2024 wasn't particularly inspiring, but it's now been nearly 18 months since the election, and 2025 has defined him. In January, Labour were already in a bad place. Rachel Reeves was facing calls to resign after lying about her work experience on her CV, and Starmer kept her on as the already very unpopular Chancellor. And at this time, Starmer showed his support for AI and how it will transform the economy. Supporting something deeply unpopular is Starmer's modus operandi, and AI has only gotten worse and worse this year. Then in June, Labour faced the welfare rebellion. The government wanted to make £5 billion worth of cuts, including on disabled people, by targeting PIP. And it was so bad that 40 MPs said they couldn't support it. So nearly a year in, his government hadn't changed anything, hadn't radically improved people's lives, but the biggest stories of Starmer is to attack pensioners and disabled people. In the second half of this year, his own position has been called into question. Imagine getting elected with a huge majority, and just a year later, people are already speculating that he's going to be replaced. Then in September, Peter Mandelson was sacked as US ambassador after his Jeffrey Epstein links. And what's so astonishing about this is the fact that Keir Starmer appointed him in the first place. Starmer and other Labour figures acted so shocked at the Mandelson links, which is, I'm sorry, it's bullshit. They knew, since we knew about the connections for years. I mean, this image shows it all. So Starmer appointed a man who was friends with the world's most notorious paedophile, and I'm actually quite shocked that it got no media scrutiny. I mean, there was media scrutiny after more evidence of Mandelson's links, but nothing before that. And that image of Epstein and Mandelson alone should have got him kicked out of the party, and certainly shouldn't have been appointed as an ambassador. But Starmer did it anyway. So that is, to me, a huge scandal. Now, it's only been a few months since his last rebellion, the welfare cuts, but he now faces another. So Keir Starmer is facing another backbench rebellion over his plans to restrict jury trials after 39 Labour MPs signed a letter opposing the plans. Earlier this month, the Justice Secretary announced plans to scrap jury trials in England and Wales for crimes that carry a likely sentence of less than 3 years. The incompetence of this man and this government knows no bounds. All of this, combined with his complicity in genocide, combined with being insanely authoritarian, like prescribing Palestine action, leading to thousands of arrests of peaceful people holding up signs. There's videos of elderly women, right, of being arrested for holding up signs. There's footage of a blind man being taken away by officers, and all he did was hold up a sign. He's pissed off everyone. Farmers, pensioners, those on welfare, small businesses, you name it. And his personal ratings have fallen below Andrew Mountbatten. So his favourability was about even in August 2024, slightly more negative, but that's standard for politicians, you know. No one's popular. I mean, the most popular politician currently is Zach Polanski, and he's on -1% because, I mean, we're a cynical bunch in the UK. For good reason, though. But look at where he is now. 76% of people disapprove compared to 15%. That is shockingly bad. Now, people voted at the Tories. We were all sick of austerity. We were sick of the managed decline of this country. We were sick of the cost of living crisis. And Labour has done nothing about this, coupled with the fact that they have been incompetent, despite acting like the adults in the room. It was never going to be popular. I don't know how many Labour supporters or Starmerites who watch this channel, but Labour's unpopularity isn't down to the media. I mean, look, it's part of it, but most of it is self-inflicted. Yes, GB News, Talk TV, and the rest of the right-wing media have been overwhelmingly negative of Labour, but that comes with the territory, that's expected. But the lack of strategy and message has only compounded that, because Labour fully embraced the orthodox economic way of thinking. Reeves, with her stupid fiscal rules, pledging no tax rises, they put themselves in a corner. So when they did raise taxes, everyone saw this as hypocritical or lying. Yet had Labour promised to raise taxes on the rich, something the majority of people support, then yes, you still would have GB News and other outlets cry on behalf of their billionaire backers, but most people wouldn't be fazed as this was something they were elected on. Yet because they didn't, the message people receive from this government is they're not to be trusted and they're liars, they constantly U-turn. But they also still refuse to implement a wealth tax. So it's not like they ultimately came round to the popular position. They're still refusing to do what people want. People want higher taxes on the rich, not themselves. There's a separate question about general tax rises to sustain a more generous state, but that's a different discussion. The biggest issue here is narratives and communication. Labour's strategy has been to chase voters who hate them. They've become tougher on immigration, they've jumped to the right on asylum seekers, yet they won't get those reform voters. All the while, they are losing votes to their left, and the Greens under Zach Polanski, Zach has been the biggest winner out of this. And now it's likely Starmer's going to be gone in May after an expected drubbing in the local elections, and it's something fully deserved. Labour have failed this country, and I'm not disappointed because I voted for the Greens. I expected this. In fact, everything I predicted has come true. I said Labour will be massively unpopular very quickly. That's happened. I said they're going to be incompetent. Even though their campaign in the general election was, well, the Conservatives are really incompetent. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to be more competent. I said they won't be competent. That's proven to be correct. I said they won't change anything, and they haven't. And this is where we are. But I said Labour have failed this country because it's not just their demise, which I welcome. It's the fact that they've paved the way for reform, and we are in a doom loop of right-wing politics.